It's every parent's nightmare having a child that is addicted to narcotics. Well, my next guest continues to speak with us in part 2 of this week's edition on her journey with her son who is a drug addict. This addiction not only has an effect on her son, but it also has a direct effect on her as a parent and on her marriage. Believe me, this is not something that we do stop to consider, but parents of drug-addicted children do go through the most in terms of their mental health. Let's listen and hopefully let's be inspired to be more empathetic and to help those who need our help. What has this done to you and your husband really? Mentally, physically?
Physically, it was draining me and it's still draining me. Every day I will complain. I'll tell my husband, I'm so tired of this house. And many a times I even threaten my husband that I'll take my things and leave. And I think by now he's also so up to the brim with me, always threatening him while he's not the problem. And when things are going bad, the boy will always say, yeah, leave my father, man. He'll even, enhance it.
So, Lucille, do you feel safe really in your own house?
No, I don't. If I had a choice, I would leave my house and never return. If I had a choice.
Do you have a protection order against your son?
Yes, I do have one. But long time ago, he stole it from me.
The copy?
Yeah, and it destroyed. So I had to go back again. Remember, there's numbers on the protection orders.
Have you ever had to call the police to arrest him in violation of the protection order?
Yes, my husband did many times.
Mentally, what does this do, really, in a home where there seems to be so little peace?
There isn't peace in my house. And sometimes one will go out and look for peace somewhere else, then it's also not right. Not that you'll go out and look for peace on the wrong places, but I'll come to your house just for a little of peace, just to have some tea. That's also wrong.
Because a home is a place where you're supposed to run to. You leave the world to run to your home for peace, for calm, for, it's your resting place. And when that resting place becomes a place of battle, it affects your mental health, right?
Yes, it does.
Have you found yourself or any of your children, his siblings, being treated mentally for any, depression, anxieties, any disorders brought about by just this?
Yes.
On a day-to-day basis, really, how are you coping with living in your house with your son?
If it's my choice, I don't want to live with my son anymore. I'll rather live alone, me and my children, or me and my husband. I don't want actually my son anymore in my house because there is no peace. There is no peace in my house with that boy. Because he owns everything, everything belongs to him, and he's always right. You are actually nothing. His word count alone.
Tell me what, in all of this, your boy now, we are still speaking of someone who is addicted, currently as we're speaking now.
Currently as we're speaking now, I cannot say that. I don't have evidence of that. On the 29th of December, the boy was acting very strangely. Me and the father was talking to him and we tested him. He tested negative for everything. Because of I'm running a rehab, I always got drug kit test. So when we tested him for 5 things on that stick, he was negative. But however, the behavior doesn't talk the same language like the test kit.
What do you mean?
If I test one of my clients and I find him to be negative in the drug kit, meaning he's not smoking, or whatever I found negative. But however your behavior speaks another language, persistent, demanding, all the things that we called here, That's exactly his behavior. So how do I justify the negativity with the behavior?
So the behavior suggests that he is still using something.
It suggests that, but the evidence doesn't prove it. But remember, that can tell me also another thing. Mentally, he's also affected.
Yes.
That is the other thing that I can only rely on. But by testing, he tests negative. But his behavior is still the same like the old boy.
How old is this young man?
He's a grown man, 27 years old, long time supposed to be out of my house, out of our lives.
At this point where you are in life, do you feel any resentment towards your son?
Many a times I even tell him that. Many a times. We reach a level as parents when you've been hurt so much by your child and no evaluation, no validation, no appreciation, you start hating your own child. The hate comes up now and then. I don't want to deny it.
And there's an expectation, I would say, it's a natural inclination that because you birthed your child, you love them. But what happens when you're in such a situation where it's difficult, to love, when it's difficult to recognize this person that you gave birth to? And how do you deal with those emotions?
Ever since I grew up, I had this mentality of drawers. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Drawers as in
you
mentally,
visualize.
yeah.
I'm good in visualizing things. So I built these drawers for myself. And all these drawers in my mind got names on. So if you're problematic, I can easily in my mind put you in a drawer and close the drawer. And I can pretend that you never existed. Until the time is ripe, I'll open your drawer.
When you feel ready.
Yeah, that's how I do with the boy. If he does a lot of wrong and he say a lot of wrong things to me, I just become blank, close him in the drawer and walk away.
So there have been times when you've really pretended he doesn't exist. When
yes,
we can sit actually not existed to you.
Yeah, we sit in one room. I might not say anything and stand up and go and sleep. Tomorrow, stand up again, the same thing. That is my defense mechanism. For me not to say anything, I rather keep quiet and leave him to do what he wants to do until he feels he's overwhelmed, he can't, then he'll come and talk. Because sometimes if you too much over him and talk, he say a lot of things that's very hurtful.
Do you feel that you need mental intervention?
I attend at my work, the psychologists and psychiatrists. I do attend on my own core. We got all those facilities at work. So when I become overwhelmed, I go and talk to somebody.
And is it helping? The fact that you have a place to go to and that offers clinical support?
It does help me. It helps you for a certain time frame in your life until you become overwhelmed and you shut down and you go back, and that's how it goes. But I go. If I need, I go. If I need to talk to somebody, I go out and I go and talk to somebody that I trust, or I go to the psychologist or the doctor at our wellness center.
Have you ever at any point blamed yourself for your son's behavior?
That one I won't do, madam. That one, I will never do it. I will never blame myself because he was a young boy, an adult. You become the adolescent, up. He chose to go with the wrong friends. We warned him, we talked to him, so I don't think I'm to be blamed for whatever the boy did wrong or still doing. But my son is blaming me for everything that goes wrong in his life. Every little thing, I'm to be blamed.
Do you ever ask yourself, and question God and say, God, why? Why me? Why give me this precious gift of a child only for things to be like this?
Yes, I did.
How,
I didn't even blame myself there was a time where I was questioning my faith a lot. Let me not say God. My faith. There was a time it was so painful when all these things happened. You know, I couldn't go to church. When I entered, I was just crying. I knew why I was crying, because of all the things the boy put me through.
Too much pain.
Yeah, but I just couldn't go to church. And if I went, I didn't even know what to pray for anymore. Because you pray and pray and pray and you feel nothing happen. And at the end, I didn't know what to pray for anymore. So I didn't want to go to church because I didn't know what to say anymore.
I'm praying and there are no answers. I'm coming to church and I'm hearing the word, but somehow the word is not working for me.
Yeah.
And you got to a place where, did you ever get over that? Did you ever get to realizing that God remains faithful even in what you are working in?
I came to that realization. Then I started again to go back to church and, you know, started again to pray. And then I started again fasting and all those things. So I made peace with that line also, eh? That really, it's not God's fault. As human beings, it's in our nature to do wrong and blame somebody.
Do you feel that your son is not taking any accountability for his life?
He is, and he doesn't want to. You know what, in life, you must take accountability for our actions, and you must be responsible for whatever you are doing. He doesn't want to take accountability, responsibility, nothing. He's just there. Everybody must look after him.
A sense of entitlement, so to speak.
But he's telling me that I never asked you to brought me on this earth. It's your duty to take care of me, to raise me, to feed me. He's telling me. I don't see how I owe him, but to him, I owe him. He's telling it to me in my face. You owe me. You brought me here. So you must see, I must eat this and all these things he's telling me.
Are you saying that you have lost all vitality for life because of your son?
No, I won't put it in that way. You know what? I love life. Painful as it is, hard as it is. Reason being, I was brought up very strict. And my mother taught us how to survive even in the worst scenario. So I don't think the boy will put me under his feet. Before he reached that, I will put him under my feet. Because the last time I remember, we are the parents and he's the child. I don't know how it's going to end, but surely it needs to end. Or it has to end. I don't know how is it going to end, but it will end. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will. Because I cannot live like this for the rest of my life, being controlled by my son. I cannot. My parents died. They sent me to school. I obey the law. I obeyed my parents. I work for myself. I take responsibility, full accountability for my actions. Therefore, I'm here where I am today. I never went out and steal. I worked very hard for what I earned today. So why should I be accountable to him? Every cent I got, he wanted. Whatever I got, he wanted. Does it belong to him? No. It's rightfully mine. Whether I want to give you or not, it's my choice. I cannot be forced or held accountable for your happiness. Everybody on this life is responsible for his or her own happiness.
Lucille, are you afraid of your son?
In the beginning, I was. I was afraid of my son until I realized that whatever has to happen must happen. I even went to my sister, my eldest sister. I talked to my sister, I told her. Then my sister said, when he behaves like this, I mustn't talk, I must keep quiet because he will even one day injure me. Then I said to my sister, if that must happen, let it be. But if I can show the boy I'm scared of him, he will take more advantage of me. So if he's saying wrong things, I stand up for myself. I said, no, it's not like that. Do whatever you want. I reached a point that I don't care anymore. Whether he hurt me, whether he beat me, whether he killed me, he can do whatever he wants. I don't care.
Are you safe in your house when your husband is not at home?
I am in the house, and sometimes I just keep quiet and do what I have to do. But most of the time I prefer to work. I can rather be at work 24/7 than to be in my house.
Do you feel that you have exhausted every avenue
Yeah,
of getting help for your son?
I feel so.
Of getting help for yourself?
No, I think if I can be splitted away from him, it will work for me.
Are you in pain because of your son?
Yes. I don't think any parent will like it when your child behaves like this.
Is it emotionally draining? Are you drained? Do you feel that you have nothing more to give?
I have nothing to give anymore. Eh? Tired. You know, it's nice to give in life. But when give becomes a must, it's no more nice. You must give out of free will because I want, I can. But if people start forcing, expecting, and think you owe them, then it's no more nice. Meaning I'm being kept hostage or kept, in a cage because you cannot do this, you stay here. You cannot do this. It doesn't work like that. There's a place for everybody under the sun. Your life is yours and mine is mine. If you cannot live with mine, then leave it. If I'm not good enough for you, let me go. Why are you keeping me? To benefit? Or why do you like me around? It doesn't work like that. And we all came here alone. We never came here with anybody.
Do you have faith in God? Do you trust God?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel that, because I had you, in the early stages of our conversations, you said, rehab does very little for these boys, for these addicts, because particularly in terms of the reformation period that you're looking at, that it takes quite
Time.
some time for one's mind to be transformed. Do you think that your child is beyond reformation?
No, I don't think so. You know, in life, everybody needs a second chance, a third chance, fourth and fifth chance. But all this depends on him. Remember, I can go to the rehab 10 times. But if I don't want to change, I'm not going to change. If I'm going to the rehab to show you who I am and that I can come back or I can waste your money by sending me to rehab, it's not going to work. I have to go there for myself and say, it's about me. I want to do it. I want to change. It's all about yourself. You cannot go to the rehab to please me, but you have to go to make a difference for you.
For your life.
Yes, for your own well-being or your own, existence. But if you do it to please me or to spite me, you're not going to get it right. Because when you come out, you're more bitter towards me that sent you there. But you have to change your mindset that I'm going there for me. And the first step is acknowledgement. Second step, you must stop demanding because nobody owes you anything. If you stop demanding and work for yourself and do the little you can do for yourself, things will start getting better. But if you go there and think, she will pay for me, she must do because she wants me there, it's not going to work.
Has there ever been a time where your son has demanded money from you and for not getting it, he has harmed you, has harmed his siblings, he has damaged things around the house?
In the beginning, before now, he used to do that, demanding money, and if he doesn't get it, break the things, stealing things to get. If I ask you for this phone and you can't give it, I'll steal your phone. He used to substitute with things. He asks something, if you can't give it to him, he takes something to sell it to buy whatever you don't want to give him. That was what he was doing in the beginning. But now, he's no more stealing and everything, but this demandingness and all this are still there.
Lucille, as a parent in your shoes, right now, there is someone at home currently facing the ordeal that you are facing, what would you tell a parent who is battling, a family that is battling with a child that is addicted to substance abuse?
Okay, we are running courses currently. I'm attending those courses, and I also empower myself going to different courses. We have an Al-Anon course, Al-Anon classes, Al-Anon, which is taking place on a Monday. It's where all the parents come together. Any parent that's having the same problem like myself, they can go onto my website. There's Al-Anon and Al-Anon classes on Monday. When parents are willing to come, it's where all the mothers can come, then we discuss our children's problems and see how to deal with it and how to work it out, and a referral system. Then on a Wednesday, we're having the AA classes, which is for all the for the Alcoholic Anonymous. And on a Friday, we are having the NA classes.
The Narcotics Anonymous classes.
It's 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So for me to attend those classes, it really helped me a lot. It helped me to speak up. It helped me to identify the problems, how to work with it. They taught me the 12 steps, the 12 traditions, and the 12 promises. So these are classes where we as parents can start as a starting point.
For your own mental health.
And to make you strong against your own child. Remember, there's ways we must learn to work with the children. If they come with this tactic, you have to use another tactic. It's all about tactics. Otherwise, the child will say so many things that will break you down. In my personal experience of this 14 years with the boy, if I told myself, if I was not a strong person, or a person with a, how can I put
resilience.
it? Yeah, like,
or persistence.
Yeah, or somebody that was weak. If I was weak, I wouldn't made it up till today. I'm telling you, I wouldn't made it. But because I'm so strong, I had that attitude that you can't get me down. And that motivates me every day. I always believe that nobody can get you down unless you want to. It's the same like nobody can steal you unless you're willing to be stolen.
On the positive side, this has motivated you to do work with people who are addicted to alcohol, also addicted to narcotics, and you have opened a rehab center.
Yes. But we are going slow. It's running for 1 year now. And I think Busi was also helping me a lot to do marketing. I think the more marketing we'll do, the more clients we'll get. And the more clients we'll get, the more awareness we'll create. Because many people with my profession and even what I see in the communities, they look the other way around. They don't want to talk about it. All the parents that I met so far, they said, I think my son is using it. I think we parents are too much in denial.
I think it's too horrific for us to be confrontational about it, to look at it and say, I've got a problem here.
They overlook it.
Yeah.
And most of the parents rather prefer the children when they do wrong to go to jail and all those places. Instead of confronting the problem, investigate it, and look for your own answers and evidence and deal with it. They look the other way around. Parents don't talk about these things about their children. They'll just tell you, my child is this, the behavior this, but they never go deep and look what is the behavior cause, what is the cause of the behavior.
Where is the drug rehabilitation center situated, and what's the name?
Okay, it's Germiston City Recovery and Care Center, situated at 110 Joubert Street, Germiston South, 1401. The telephone number is 011-826-6026. Then you can go into the website, you'll find the same Germiston City Recovery Care Center.org.co.za. You'll find everything there.
Lucille, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Pleasure. Thank you for calling me on board.
The effects of drug addiction are not only on the victims themselves, but they also extend to the family and to the parents. And oftentimes we overlook how hurtful these experiences can be. Violence in our country has been directly linked to drug intake and alcohol abuse. We have children who kill their parents, statistics are showing the mortality rate of adults is adversely affected. The mental health is surely deteriorating. And any generation that does not value its adult does not have much to learn. As adults, similarly, we are encouraged to take force and stand up against drug addiction. If you notice that your child needs attention, get in touch with a narcotics center, with a rehab center, even with Alcohol Anonymous, so that your child can get help. It's not going to help us for us to look the other way and trust and hope that this problem will go away. We need government on board. We need the lawmakers on board. We need our courts on board. And above all, we need clinical intervention for those parents who are facing this kind of monsters in our homes. It's very difficult when a child that you birthed, that you love, becomes a monster that can turn against you at any time. So there we have it. It's a task that we must embark on. God bless you. It's been another installment, a heavy and emotional one, of Healing Conversations with Ntabiseng Mwepe. God bless you. Good night.
Get yourself a copy of our latest books, The Mending of a Broken Vessel and Maintaining Your Joy, a journal for daily positive living. Visit a bookstore near you.